Hi, I'm Steph. I'm currently working as Head of Learning and Development at Berlin Brands Group, headquartered in Berlin. I have more than 13 years experience in the learning and development space, originally coming from tourism, so a little bit different, working with loads of people, very interested in employee engagement and experience. Yeah, I think the first question you need to ask yourself what you mean with resources, right? That could be manpower, it could be the environment, it could be a tool. And I think the most important thing for me, what I see in companies happening is just like, oh yeah, cool. You just take the employee experience as an additional task, right? That's kind of your goal for now. That's your stretch goal, which doesn't work. I think the problem is you need to put it up front. So you need to think about it carefully, what you want to achieve by the experience you want to get for your employees, and hence then look into the resources, what you need. Again, that really depends on the size of your company as well, on the budget of the company. But I would still say it doesn't matter what the budget is. It doesn't matter what the resources are. For a smaller company like a startup, that could mean as all other roles are, you just take on responsibilities for certain things, which is kind of contradicting to what I said before. Don't make it a kind of a side task. But for a small startup, that might work because everybody needs to feel responsible. And I think that is the thing. And even if you think about resources, hiring an employee experience specialist or something like that, for me, that still means you're not out of the loop if you're not that person. I think you always, as a manager, for example, you need to care for your own team. You need to care about their well-being and so on, that you really can have your own mindset and you can work with those persons that are responsible for that. If you take a tool, sometimes a tool helps because I think it's easier. I mean, we started now with a tool. We purchased one tool for kind of an employee engagement, for an employee net promoter score as well, which helps automate it. I think the reason why I'm saying that with the automation is that it's difficult to get the manpower in. It takes a lot of time, specifically if you have a tool that not only asks a question and you have a scale from 1 to 10, but even if you think about adding comments, even if they're voluntarily, all of a sudden you're standing there, and we did a test and we had over 100 comments for just 2 weeks of a test, of a pilot. And it's kind of where you think about, okay, what do I need to do? And the problem is with those tools is it needs to be meaningful. So the thing is, you have the questions that you answer, but you can't just say, yeah, I'm rolling it out and that's it. Fair enough, because that's not going to work. It'll backfire at you straight away. I think if you don't have the measures in place with roles and responsibilities, what is everybody capable or in need of doing in order to look into action items based on the results, based on the feedback, what employees want, then you're just going down a rabbit hole and you won't find back to it or find a positive outcome. And I think that is the key when you look at rolling out something like employee experience, is you need to make it right from the beginning and you need to make it work and be honest about it. Yeah, for me, it is something that you need to decide as a company. And it is something, if you purchase a tool or you want to start employee experience, it needs to start from top. Because otherwise I see the difficulties in rolling out such an experience. You need to have the founder, the C-levels, whoever that might be on top of your company buying into it, because people want to see as a leader that you are buying into that. You are there for their well-being. You want to hear what they have to say, right? So if you can't do it in person with each and every person, which is natural if you have more than 1,000 people in a company, right? This is a perfect opportunity to use such a tool. I think the importance there is like, what do you and I mentioned it before, what you want to achieve. I think nowadays, and we purchased a tool where you can have rolling question, which means you can do it like on a weekly basis, for example, instead of doing it quarterly or yearly. I think when we talk about flexibility, what people want now is exactly what you need if you purchase a tool. I think quarterly, yearly surveys are kind of very static, so you can't get much out of it. You have a moment of truth, but not a whole year of truth, a daily truth. We purchased a tool that allows for different questions being asked, which is actually part of Workday now. It's called Pecan. So what they do basically is they have a range of questions available, so which helps a company get started, because you have the questions there. You have different languages available already preset. There is mini e-learnings, micro-learnings available for managers. There are suggested action items for managers as well. So it gives a lot of it all compromised in one tool. You don't need to get out of it, right? You can do benchmarking with other companies, whatever you want to achieve in that respect. I think the important thing is, before you roll out such a tool though, is you need to think about what the culture is in your company, and do you have a company culture? Because if you don't have one, I think it is difficult to understand what you want to get out of it. Because I think, to me, employee engagement, employee experience, what you want to achieve is you want to have people that can identify with your company culture, and that works in tandem. So the main keys to me can be simply described in 4 words. So those 4 words that you need in order to provide a successful and engaged employee experience is trust, transparency, inclusion, and caring. So if you follow those rules, you should be all set.